Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this show between Up the Cherries in all departments and also John Sinclair TV. Cherries fans, you'll know me and Matt. Of course, though, we've got John Sinclair with us. How you doing, mate?
Good evening to you, Craig, Matt, and thanks for having us on. I'm all fine. Just, it's been a good few days, to be fair. I've just hit 10,000 subs, and I just cannot be any happier than that. I mean, as a small YouTuber, you got to do plan B. And you know what? All cool. Thanks for having us on, man.
Not a problem at all. It's always our pleasure, John. And no, great to have you with us. And Matt, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. All good. Just watched the Belgium game, which was quite interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversial decisions in there and some that no doubt we'll touch upon. But as the title of the show says, it's all about England and our game last night against Serbia. A side who, of course, have got Alexander Mitrovic up front and had one player under 6 foot on their team. So, yeah, a big imposing side. But I'll tell you what, if you've got any questions during this show, as it says here, please do leave them below, and we will be reading out comments and questions as we go through as well. And we are live on YouTube as well as Twitter as well. And we've already got one comment from Niall Kane. Hope you're well. And congrats on the 10k subs, John Boy. I tell you what, mate, well chuffed for you. And you've done amazingly well, really well.
All it is, though, it's not just all about doing your content, it's just doing other things as well. Like, you know what I mean? Just, all these small YouTubers out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to do other things if you can do it, but yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. And
all Egypt.
Congratulations to
you.
Here's to the next 10,000. We're trying to get up to 2,000 ourselves. And then, because I did the challenge at 1,000, it's your turn, Matt. When it gets to 2,000. I'm not going to make you eat anything, but I have got something in mind. And, I'm thinking maybe you can do a little bit of a Queen rendition, don't know, in the Kingston Conclave. I'm not sure. We'll think up something. I'll tell you what, we'll sort it out.
Yeah.
We have got some comments. We've got a question actually from Niall. Can Scotland bounce back against Switzerland on Wednesday? I'll tell you what, let's answer that. Go around the room firstly. What do you reckon, John?
I know this will be well. And it's going to be difficult for Scotland now. That 5-1 defeat against Germany absolutely destroyed them. Listen, I hope you make it. I really do. You know what I mean? I hope you beat Switzerland. That's the next game. Then you got Hungary. I think if you don't lose, right? If you get a draw against Switzerland, right, then you've got to win against Hungary. Yeah. But the thing was, Switzerland, I think it's something like 14 games undefeated, and Hungary were 16 games undefeated before they got beat. But I think Steve Clark needs to come out and play a 4-2-3-1 and really go for it, because I tell you what, if he plays the back three, then it's not going to work. It ain't going to work. Also, you need to get Billy Gilmore playing as well in midfield. I think you missed him. You really did miss him. Scott McTominay, right? I mean, should have stepped up. John McGinn, brilliant at club level, should have stepped up. Yeah. But the thing is, right, you can do it for your club. Why can you not do it at the national stage where it really, really mattered? Yes, Germany are a fantastic side, yeah, but they were good. But Scotland were poor. They need to fix it real quick. Otherwise, they'll be going home.
What do you reckon, Matt?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for them to bounce back, isn't it? I mean, I had them to qualify from the group in my predictions because I thought it would be their year this time. But I mean, an on-form Scotland, from seeing the Switzerland game, they could, if they're on form and they come out all guns blazing, there's every chance they can get a win. But I think it's going to be a difficult one for them.
I've got to agree, and I think defensively they were very, very poor. They were very. There just didn't seem to be that much agility at the back. I've got to be honest, Niall. I think the sending off was the right call. The studs went up and it went into the player's leg. I think that was the right call. I was a little bit disappointed by Ryan Christie. I've got to be honest. But to be honest, I don't think there was many players that really, shone a decent light on themselves in that game. So that's my honest opinion. I think it's going to be tough. I think the Swiss have shown against Hungary in the first game that they're no pushovers. I don't think there's any side that I've seen so far that's pushovers so far, apart from Scotland. So it's going to be tough, but fingers crossed. I really do hope Scotland get through. I really do. We have got a few more comments here as well. We got Colton Connor. Hello, Colton.
Hi, Colton, mate.
John.
How are you doing?
Hi, panel. Now, thank you so much for joining us, Colton. And we will be coming on to our match in just a second. We got 3 points, but what a boring match. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get stuck into it, shall we? And we've got Russ Morgan as well. Evening, fellas.
Big up, Russ.
Second half. Excellent. Good to have you with us, Russ. So let's get on to the lineups. So this was the lineups for England and Serbia yesterday. I'll start with you, Matt. Were you happy with the lineup?
I think it was the lineup that we predicted and pretty much everybody else predicted. I mean, overall to start the game, I would say that was probably the right choice. With the issue with left back, I mean, who else can you play, other than Trippier? Gay come in. I thought he was superb alongside Stones. I mean, the only one that maybe after now looking at the game with what we've seen in the press might be Foden. Is he to play on the left, or should we bring him into the centre? That's something we can look at a bit later. But I mean, overall, I would say that was pretty much the right team, strongest team to go out, really.
Yeah, definitely. And John, what did you make of the team?
When you look at the team, I'll think to myself, what's Trent doing in the midfield? Yeah, you could have picked Conor Gallagher. Yeah, you could have chose Corey Mainoo, despite he had got slated against Iceland. Yeah, I would have done it. I would have said that. Yeah, but Luke Shaw's going to be was a miss. They had to play Kim Trippier there. I think he did all right there, left back. Yeah, the attacking side. Me personally, I would have put Jude Bellingham in the CDM alongside Declan Couscous, right? And I say Declan Couscous, it's more like Declan Rice. See it? And then just maybe play Foden to 10 and probably play Gordon on the left. Yeah. But Gareth Southgate ain't going to do that, isn't he? Yeah. He picks his favourites. Everyone knows that in the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the substitution, I'm sure going to touch on subs right later on, I'm sure. But the bottom line is, right, Serbian made 4 subs before 68 minutes. we do our first change. Yeah, we should have freshened up a little bit. Yeah, I'm not being funny, but Serbia, right, were better team second half. But if Oli Jovic connected that ball well, it could be 1-1. But go back to the lineup, by the way, right? I mean, I would not have Trent in midfield. No way. You play the players in the correct position, yeah? What is Gareth Southgate doing? I have absolutely no idea. 1+ Sanders as well. Gooey had a fantastic game at the back. He was fantastic along with John Stones and that, yeah? But do you know what it is, mate? It's a lot of hard work. I mean, we've got the 3 points, but there's a lot of hard work. And Jess Fabregas have called it out right. I need to ask the question, who wants it? Because I'll tell you something, second half, I'll listen to that pitch, all right? Apart from Jude, none of them didn't want it.
Well, we will come on to that because I tell you what, it's a big talking point as well. The media have made a lot about that second half, and I've got my own opinions with regards to it. With regards to the lineup, I was quietly confident. I've got to agree with you, John. You know, on having Trent Alexander-Arnold in the midfield, I didn't really understand it as much. You know, personally, would Foden have been better in more of an attacking role? Have Rice more central? Bellingham and Foden, you know, in that central role, maybe would have been a better option. But then again, it's who do you have down that left at that point? But personally, I am with you on that. That Alexander Arnold in that defensive midfield role, I didn't feel like it worked as effectively as it could have done. We do have a couple more comments, actually. I'm just going to show them on screen as well. And thank you so much for everybody joining us tonight. We have actually got 175 watching at this moment in time. So well chuffed with that. Thank you, everybody. We have got Gary Richards with us. Tally ho all. Kane is finished at the top level. He has become Rooney without the trophies.
Gary, man. I mean, Harry Kane's finished at top level. Don't forget he scored 36 goals last season in the Bundesliga. Yeah, you can't let that finish, mate. He's been outstanding. He's the only one, right, of a shining light at the Bavarian outfit. Yeah, the rest of them has been a letdown this season. Let's be real. But Harry Kane, he's only 30. He's still got it, man. He's still got it. But if it's got an opinion, Gary, we respect it.
Yep. Most definitely. And I will come on to Kane as well, because there was a couple of points that Alan Shearer made during the game as well. You probably heard them as well, John and Matt. You probably heard them, but we'll come on to those. Colton Connor, Gary, we ain't winning with Kane, bro. He's washed up. So not many people fans of Kane here. Michael McIntyre. So maybe the comedian, you never know. Hi, John. I hope you're well.
You got Nicky.
And Russ Morgan, play a proper midfielder instead of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Matt, we'll come on to you because I think Russ has made a good point. You know, personally, it was something that I picked out, and John said it all there. You know, but what did you make of Trent Alexander-Arnold in that midfield?
Obviously, he's not, you know, a midfielder, as we know, and he's been trialled out there, you know, at certain times before. But I mean, just to give you some stats on it, 91% pass accuracy, 60 touches, 5 out of 7 long balls completed. He had 3 shots. 2 ground duels won and 2 interceptions. 1 interception, I think, created a chance for Walker in the first half. Now, I don't think it was the worst performance in the world, I've got to say. I do understand, you know, like Gallagher come on. I think when Gallagher did come on, I think the midfield needed some more legs. But from a starting point, I don't think it was too bad. I understand people's views on it, that, you know, people think, you know, players should play in their positions, but I mean, his stats, to be fair, weren't bad. So for me personally, I I was quite happy with Trent starting, and I predicted Trent to start anyway in our preview last week.
You did, yes, you did. Let's have a little look at the stats, because these are the key stats. Possession, pretty much neck and neck. Although it looks like, I'm guessing the second, the green block is Serbia. Is that correct?
I think the green block is England.
Is it right? Okay. So yeah, we've got a little bit more possession there. Fewer attempts though than Serbia, which is interesting. Attacks 34 to 33. Corners, yep, it's going to be England. We only had the one corner. So that's correct. Passing accuracy, a lot better not much better passing accuracy. To be honest, John, from seeing those stats, they are, have we underestimated Serbia before the ball was kicked?
We certainly did in the second half, didn't we? I thought we got the job done in the first half, yeah. But once we got the first goal, we should have attacked in the second half and get that second goal. I mean, Harry Kane was unlucky for that header. That's the only good thing he did all night. I'm not gonna lie. But
yeah,
for me, right, in the second half, I mean, yes, I thought you all said Serbia's a much better side. I mean, Flavic was unlucky when people had to tip over the bar. Then, like I said earlier on, Jovic could have connected better for the Tadic pass. I think Tadic made a difference when he came on the pitch, He really, really did. Yeah. I think Serbia, there was more aggression, they had more movement as well. And we just sat back. We just sat back and then had all of the play. I mean, I asked the question, who wants it? Who wants to take control of the game? Who's going to roll the sleeves and say, right, you know what? We're not going to allow them to play. You know what I mean? You're going to get in this, do you know what I mean? But we look at England sides, right? Over the years, right? You had players like David Batty, Brian Robson. Yeah, we had all these midfielders back in the day. We ain't got them anymore. Steve McMahon, we ain't got those type of players anymore. So it's gonna break up the play and bite your legs or anything like that, man. We ain't got that. All we got now, right, is players just want to stand off each other. I don't know, but I tell you now, right, if we play like that against the top teams, like we did in the second half, we will not win the Euros, yeah? It's typical Gareth Southgate yet again. He is so defensive, so negative, right? And you know what? He's too safe as a manager, He cannot get our team over the line. Winners. We need winners for England, yeah? Winners. But those stats there sums it up, really, yeah? But it just goes to show we're just so defensive yet again.
John's made a very, very good point, Matt. And one thing that was said after the Euro 2020 final was that when we went 1-0 up against the Italians, we just went into the shell. I said it at the time. And I said what we are going to... Scoring that early was not a good thing. Scoring, I think it was 5-6 minutes, wasn't it? Scoring that early was not a good thing, and so it proved, because Gareth Southgate just sat back. Do you feel that is really is Achilles' heel?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of frustration while I was watching the game last night. In terms of the way he's had the side playing. Achilles' heel. Yeah, I think he just needs to. I think he needs to be more braver with the players we've got. Attacking, we've got some of the best players at the tournament. Like Jude Bellingham proved that last night. I mean, scored a fantastic header, didn't he? I mean, for me, I think Southgate just needs to be more braver with the squad. Not sit back and. I mean, it made the game boring, didn't it? And it invited Serbia to attack. And I mean, I thought our off the ball play was pretty good at times. But yeah, I think he just needs to be a bit braver and trust the talent that he's got in front of him.
Do you know what it is about coming in right quickly, right? But I don't mind getting beat if we had a real goal. I can remember in the Euros in 2004, right? We took the game to France in the first game. We battered them. Yeah. We absolutely battered them, man. Could have been 4s and 5s, yeah? But Barthez made a good save. It was poor finish on the day, but we gave it our flipping all. And yes, Zidane's free kick and a pen kicks us in the you know what. You know, we can't question the effort because we gave it everything on the day. It's as simple as that. Yeah. And I was take positives from there, but we came through it. We came through, I think, with the next 2 games. Yeah. But under this manager, right, I'll tell you something now. If Man U fans are watching this, right, and you get Gareth Southgate in the future, I tell you now, your club will be knackered, yeah? And if he was our manager in Newcastle United, I'll get my season ticket up because I do not want to see this guy anywhere near my football club. I'm telling you, it's as simple as that.
No, that's a fair point. And,
Sorry, but I'll
no,
put it out
no.
there, man.
To be honest, it's good, to have that honest discussion. And, I'll give my views in a second. But
Yeah, man.
Colton Connor has said, "Thank you, John, for selling the truth."
Thanks, bro.
A lot of England fans are feeling like that. And Nick Gillen's put, the way we play is so ad hoc at times, though this is nothing new for England, and not just with this team and manager.
Yeah, very good
And it's
point.
Very, very, good
very,
point,
very
Nick.
good point.
All the same. It's every single time. It's nothing different. I'll look at it, right? I mean, you look at Phil Foden, right? You've got to touch him in a bit, right? This guy, right? Magnificent on the pep, yeah? But cannot play in a Southgate system. He cannot, yeah? He had a poor game yesterday. That's not his fault, yeah? That's not down to him. It's down to Gareth, yeah? You look at it. Also, right? I'm not going to lie. Saka, first half, he was really good. I mean, I thought he had a good game and all. Second half, fade out a little bit. I can't lie. Yeah. But the substitutions, man. 68th minute makes first change. Serbia made 4 changes, yeah? Because they want to try and win the game. For us, they're just waiting for Serbia to score an equaliser before we react. That is the thing. A fantastic manager like a Simeone, right? Simone Inzaghi, Jose, right? And even Michel Sanchez from Verona would have made changes earlier on. If it ain't right, they'd be quite happy to make a sub in 15, 20 minutes if they want to. Yeah? But this manager is so reactive. Do you know what I mean? And I'm fair. He's got to play 4-2-3-1. We could play 4-3-3. We've got the players to play a 4-3-3. He won't do that. Why? Because he is too damn negative.
I do agree with you on that, John. And to be honest, I was very much after this game, and of course, I sat there and watched BBC News afterwards, and they started going on about how it wasn't particularly too good, and I thought, well, we're not playing San Marino here. We're playing a Serbia team who are very physical, very difficult to play against, very awkward. They're full of, like I said, they only had one player that was under 6 foot in their squad. They were always going to be difficult. I can't see that there's one bad team really, apart from, and I'm sorry to say this now, apart from Scotland at this point in time in this competition. Hopefully, Scotland are holding it back for the next 2 games. At the end of the day, if they win those 2, they're through. But personally, I thought that some of the criticism was leveled was harsh. But the more you think about it, the more we have these discussions. And I made a video earlier on and I said, look, it was harsh. The mainstream media like to make this story and, look, because, everything's rosy in the England camp and everybody's getting on and everybody's happy and doesn't sell newspapers. It was like the hooliganism thing that was mentioned, which wasn't even connected with England. And the thing was it doesn't sell papers if it's everything is rosy. The thing is when we have these discussions, it is good because it makes you realize, it makes me realize. But one thing I would say, and it's great that we got you on here, John, is Eddie Howe is the man who, and I know you might hate me for this, is the man that I think should be the next England manager because he is attacking. He's the sort of manager that would get the best out of these players going forwards. What do you think, John?
I hope it's not the case, and I'll tell you why, because I'm Newcastle manager. I knew you'd say that, but he ain't going nowhere. But, if anyhow gets approached by England, right, for me personally, right, Who is going to turn down England? Not many managers turn down England, right? When England comes calling for you, you don't turn it down. You only get one opportunity. If you turn it down, you may not get an opportunity ever again. You just won't. Bobby Robson took on the England job, yeah? Graham Taylor, not my guy, took it on. Terry Venables took it on, yeah? Sven Goran Eriksson took it on because he left Lazio to come to England, right? Which I'm quite shocked, yeah, because of the yellow Portugal on Lazio. They won Scudetto the season previously, right? Who else was it? Took on the job. Kevin Keegan said 4 games, right? He said it's 4 games and no more. Whoever is after the 4 games, whoever it is, it will not be Kevin Keegan. In fact, it was Kevin Keegan. He took the job on after the 4 games. Let's be real. He shared a job with Fulham when he was at Fulham. Yeah. Excuse me. But I don't want Eddie Howe to go. I want Eddie Howe to be here as long as possible. Yeah. Because I like Eddie Howe. Yeah, I really, really do. It's going to be a massive season for Eddie. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm positive, but also speak the truth as well. I always speak facts as well. Because at the end of the day, I believe it's got to be spoken for. Simple as that. But if Eddie Howe gets England job or gets poached, I tell you now, England will have to pay a world record, well, their club record, the country record, the price this guy away. It has to. It will not come cheap, Eddie Howe, I'm telling you. But if they come for him, they just going to put pressure and pressure and pressure. Massive job, massive country. It's always proud, always be an honor to manage your country, right? Let's be real, right? I hope he doesn't go, but for the first time, I fear it'll be approached. I don't want him to go, but I fear it'll be approached.
Well, before we move away from this subject as well, of course, I spoke to Steve Fletcher. This is some time ago, and one thing that Steve's opinion is that Eddie would probably not go for this role, and the reason being is because he enjoys the 9 to 5. However, even though maybe that's what he's always said to Steve, I think when push comes to shove, and you've got the chance of managing the best, and I say this is the most talented England squad in a couple of generations, probably the most talented England squad since 1966, and you've got that chance of managing that team, and if you become a World Cup winning manager, you are immortalized forever. And the thing is I think Eddie Howe, even though maybe he probably thinks, well, I'd rather stay at Newcastle rather than 9 to 5, rather work with these players, I think he might take that. There is a couple more comments. Clarkey has said, hi guys, good to have you with us, Clarkey. Colton Connor said, sorry lads, John is on the truth bombs tonight. John is usually very positive. You always are positive, but you're very honest as well, mate, aren't you?
Very honest as well. At the same time, sort of thing. If we win well, if we win, you play well, I say so. If we play poorly, all right, then I've got to call 1 or 2 players out. I will be truthful. Number one, and secondly, right, I'm not going to be flipping and flopping and keep the social media people happy. Do you know what I mean? On our social media, I don't know if you've seen it, Craig, that we're not allowed to be negative. We're not allowed to have to call players our players out if they play poorly. Yeah, I'm sorry. I do, whether they like it or not, because if you speak the truth, people respect you more. But if they're going to talk crap sort of thing to police them, they're going to call you sheep. So I'm sorry, but if you watch our channels like me, Pete and Tony, right, we speak facts. We speak the truth. And that's not having to go off people. We speak the truth. And when we speak the truth, then they know what we're talking about, yeah?
Yep, most definitely, mate. And you got to speak the truth. It happens at every football club, and to be honest, you know, it happens at Bournemouth as well. We've got the AFC Bournemouth police as well. Big up, lads. Mick has said, keep your Eddie's name out of your mouth. And Colton Comer said, I think we can get better than Eddie if he goes on.
Who will that be then, Colton? Cole, who will that be, mate? Who would you get if Eddie goes? Who would you get?
There we are. There's a question back for you, Colton. from John. But I'll tell you what, let's go on to the player ratings. Here we go. So this, Matt decided these. I know it says UTCIAD player ratings versus Serbia, but go on, Matt, you talk through them.
I didn't actually. I kind of compromised between several different ratings and sort of worked out one between it. But yeah, no.
Being analytical.
Hey,
being analytical, that's something I can't do, really.
yeah. Really, I mean, the standout ones there. I mean, obviously, Jude, man of the match as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Kane, could you score Kane higher than a 7? A lot of people probably would have scored him lower than a 7, to be fair. I mean, there were some scored him 6, some scored him 7. Foden, I saw in one place he was scored a 4.5, but I don't think it was necessarily his fault for his performance. Obviously, he's played central for City all season, and then he gets stuck out wide and expected to do a job against a strong defence like Serbia. So I thought that was a bit harsh. I scored him a 6. I mean, Pickford, I think he only really had a punch and that one really good save. I mean, other than that, he wasn't really troubled last night, was he, to be fair?
No, he wasn't really. He wasn't. But that save, when he was called upon, he did very, very well.
Yeah. Walker, I thought he had a good first half, real good first half. And Stones and Gay, they both had a good partnership. I thought they both worked well together. I've seen in some of the press today that they're saying that, Gay is Maguire's successor, which is an interesting point. But yeah, I mean, for me, I thought Bowen was good when he come on. Obviously, he created that chance for Kane, which obviously made the Serbian keeper make a good save. But yeah, I think those scores are pretty fair, unless either of you two want to maybe pull one up.
I'll throw it at John. John, what do you make of the scores?
Oh, I think someone's going to be low, I'm afraid. I can't lie. I mean, Foden was poor. I'll give him a 5. I'm not going to lie. It could have been 4 or 5. Harry Kane, he's hardly in the game apart from that header. But other than that, he was hardly in the game for me. I mean, I'm going to give him a 5 as well. I think Milenkovic superbly marked him today. Superbly did a job with him, yeah. For me, Kyle Walker, I thought he was decent. I'll give him a 7. Geary, I'll give him an 8. John Stones, I'm not going to lie, I'll give him a 6. Trippier, 7. Bellingham, man of the match, 9. Declan Rice, I'm going to give him an 8. I thought Declan played really well, I thought. For me, Saka started well, but second half faded the game. I'll give him a 7. And give him a 7. On Fontaine, give him a 5. Foden, a 5. I might be generous there. And who else started as well? I mean, Saka, Foden, Bellingham, Trent. I thought it was poor. Sorry, 4 for me. 4 out of 10. He should have been subbed off way before the 68th. And Pickford, I'll give him. He made a save. That's what he's supposed to do. Didn't really do that much anyway, but I'll give him a 6. But other than that, there you go.
I'm going to be honest, Matt. I'm gonna kind of side with John on this, because I think John's been a bit harsher, but I think there is some standout players. I think Jude Bellingham, without a shadow of a doubt, anybody who says he's not man of the match is absolutely nuts. I think Gay was brilliant at the back. In fact, dare I say it, how he played actually was so much better than Stones that it looked like Gay was the Man City player. So I personally think he's a fantastic player. Is he Maguire's successor, like you asked, Matt, there, and mentioned that a lot of people are saying? My answer to that is, even though he played so well, it's a no. And the reason being is the height. And what was good about Stones and Maguire is Maguire does a lot of the legwork. Stones does a lot of the legwork. Maguire is very, very good in the air. Now, is Gay as good as that? I'm not so sure. I think Stones and Gay are probably similar, but out of the two, I think Gay was a much better player last night. I think Saka, I completely agree with you, John. First half, he was awesome. He was awesome. He's a fantastic player, fantastic talent. He was the person that Serbia, during the halftime interval, did the most work on. Because Bellingham, they knew from the start that he was going to be an issue. He had a very physical night all evening because they got very, very close to him. It was very, very physical for Bellingham. But Saka, everything he was doing was pinpoint perfect in that first half. Second half, I think what had happened was his man got a lot closer, didn't allow him any space to run. And also, if you watched of course, when he was running from the left-hand side, it seemed like he was being doubled up on. Whenever the ball was going into that sort of area, it seemed like the Serbia, like in the centre of midfield, was moving across slightly to make sure that they were doubling up on Saka. So personally, I think that's why he found it a lot tougher in the second half. But I agree with you, John. I think, some of those ratings are probably a bit high. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold, even though the stats do say otherwise, didn't do enough for me. Foden, I think, really, really struggled. He's a lot better at Manchester City. But a win's a win, and it's not how you start tournaments, it's how you end them, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I mean, I totally agree with you there, Craig, but I know those ratings are really high. I mean, look, I'm not criticising the players. I'm not gonna be harsh on them, but somebody needs to fix up real quick. I mean, look, some of the ratings are good. Saka, I agree. Bellingham, I agree. Giri, I agree. Yeah, I think Stones did well. I've got to upgrade Stones to 7 because I think he did really well alongside Giri as well. So
yeah.
Other than that sort of thing, mate. Yeah, it is what it is. So yeah.
No, fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
That.
I just need to correct, these aren't Matt's scores. These are actually from Sky. So, yeah, apologies about that. But I'll tell you what, let's go on to the next part. So the man of the match has had his say. So this is what Jude Bellingham said. I think the first half shows why we can score against any team, and the second half shows how we can keep a clean sheet against any team. The 20-year-old said, I think commonly with the team, there is a negative feeling around all of our games, sometimes rightly so. But I think in this case, you can take the positives. We had to hold on at times and suffer a little bit. But when you keep a clean sheet, all you have to do is score one goal to win a game. It's 3 points. I think this team is still so new, gelling together with every game. Inside the changing room, will be happy with that. It's special to score any time for England, especially a match-winning goal. And I tell you what, Matt, he was outstanding, weren't he?
Yeah, he's the best man on the pitch. Yeah.
Yeah. John, what did you think of Jude?
I thought it's absolutely fantastic. Really, really good on the day. I mean, look, this guy is 20 years of age, right? And this guy, I'm not gonna be funny, right? But he's like a guy that's played like he's like 27, 20 years in his prime. But what we have to understand is the guy's 20 years of age. Yeah, he's played for Dortmund, right, for a couple of seasons. Then he's got his dream move to Real Madrid, right? Goes in first season. I thought he's going to be like a squad player, to be fair, but obviously he's not. They paid a lot of money and goes straight into the team. You would have thought this guy played for Real Madrid all his life. He has been absolutely fantastic. And I think there could be a new role for this guy because Mbappe's coming in and he's going to play in a different role, probably in the midfield three. I think it'd probably take over either Modric or Cruz, one of the two. But I think wherever he plays, Jude, he'd be absolutely fantastic. But going to what he said as well, I mean, yeah, it's good comments as well. He's so level-headed. He says the right words. He's got good people around him. And, yeah, he's going to go all the way, this kid. I'm telling you, he'll be a Ballon d'Or winner within a couple of seasons. I really, truly believe that, yeah? I'll tell you what, I can't see him playing English football. Because once you play for Real Madrid, that is it. You are made.
Yeah, most definitely. Nick Gillens has just put on here, with regards to Gareth Southgate, I think Gareth will stay if we win the Euros, as the allure of a World Cup will be too much to resist, and the team would have confidence in him to go one stage further. And Colton has said,
Whacking
Joachim
low.
Love. So yeah, be a very, very interesting appointment. That. Do you reckon that could happen?
Whacking low. I mean, he's been out of the game, hasn't he, since he's left Germany. So
Yeah.
that's the problem. I don't know if he wants to come back in the management again. I don't know if he wants to call it a day in management. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Fair enough.
And that's the bottom line. So I honestly think he's 64 years of age now, right? And I just can't see him come back into the game. He's been out of the game since 2021 for 3 years, so I can't see him coming back. I think he's done at top level football, to be fair. And that's it. That's going to be it for Whacking Law. But you never know. Football could change in an instant.
I know. He looks a bit like the guy that used to do the Crystal Maze all those years ago.
He does, yeah.
It's either him or Thomas Frank, isn't it? And he was commentating on the Ukraine versus Romania game earlier on, and the two of them look quite similar to Ed Tudor Pole. Is the guy's name. Just thought I had to add that in there, John. There we go.
Get it in there, man.
Let's have a look at Southgate's points from the opener. So on England's overall performance, he said, we didn't keep the ball quite as well. Then Serbia had to come. We had less control. I'm pleased we showed a different side. We showed resilience to defend the box. As a group that builds spirit, we defended well as a unit. Our team ran out of energy. That didn't surprise me, but the subs came on and helped us. We can be more efficient. And then on England's star, Jude Bellingham, he said, he writes his own script. England's head coach said, the timing of his runs, it was super bit of play in the build-up to the goal as well. I think all of our forward players looked up really good. I'm confident we will score goals. And on playing against a back five, it is not easy to create chances, and we did. I like the fact that we had to suffer without the ball, because that is an area we have worked on a lot this week.
The problem is, though, right? So to come in there, right? He said there we have to suffer without the ball because that's the area we have to work on a lot of week. The trouble is, though, we've always we have to suffer most games under the sky. I'm telling you, we had to suffer. Yeah, we play against top teams like Germany, France, Spain. I think you guys know what the second one I'm going to talk about. He'll play a back five himself. Yeah, I don't want to see a back five with this team. We've got a fantastic team there. We got fantastic individuals there, quality, talent. You don't need to play a back five for this with England. You got a back four there. You can play for your midfield. You can play for your up attack. You can do it. Yeah. Don't worry what the opposition is going to do. Worry about what we're going to do. Do you know what I mean? Because you're going to worry about them. We get beat.
No, that's fair enough. Fair point. And the thing is he says it there a lot about defense in that first bit on the overall performance. We defended well as a unit. What we should be going for is the juggler, and we should be going out there and attacking these sides. And that's one thing that, was a concern after the 2020 final against Italy. If we had kept attacking Italy, we would be European champions. we could well be world champions because I think we would have got past France. But we didn't. What we did was we went back to this defensive setup, and in a way, it doesn't work. But I guess it is early days in this tournament. As long as he transitions, that's the main thing. If he can transition that, I think we'll be all right. We have got Alan St. Maximin in as well.
Yay!
I don't think that's the real one, but he said John Sinclair is a top man. There we go. You got a bit of love from Alan there.
I did. If it's the real one, it's the real ASM. You know what? People are missing him. We are missing. You know what I mean? But you know what?
Yes.
This guy, the real ASM. I know we can have a fun at ASM, which is great. We had Harry Kane in before, but this guy, right? Look, the reason he had to leave Newcastle for the good of the club, yeah. The problem is, right? We got players there not getting the team and still don't want to leave Newcastle, yeah. They need to move on, and that's for another time.
Yeah,
it's another time.
No, most definitely. I'll tell you what. Good player, Alan is.
Alan's a maximum.
I love that. We've got Scott Parker that turns up every now and again. He's a lot less welcome.
I know. And you sacked him, man.
Yeah, exactly.
In the boot.
Interesting point. And of course, we've spoken about Harry Kane, and we'll speak about Harry Kane again in a moment. But, forward playing on his own, effectively, he's the one man up front. Of course, you got Saka and Foden either side. But against a back five, and he was heavily man-marked, that's always going to be difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I totally agree. Because when you've got a back five or back three, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be difficult because they know how dangerous Harry Kane can be in the air, on the floor, and scoring goals, And, those... the Serbian back three, right? The Giants, you got one who's 6'4".
Yeah,
that's Rankovic. He's 6'4". At least the other two's got to be the same as well. Do you know what? But they can play football. They bring the ball out from the back as well. They're no mugs, But playing with him, and he didn't get a lot of support last night. He only had 2 touches in the first half. If I remember this correctly, 2 touches, And that's not his fault. But we're just not creating enough for this guy. Do you know what I mean? But the bottom line is, we won the game, but you got to really play out front. You got to find a way. Another thing I noticed again, he dropped deep so many times to get the ball. He's good at that, but ideally, he wants to be more forward and score goals than that because we've got the players that can create the chances. Saka can create chances. Foden can create chances. Bellingham can create chances too.
Yeah.
And that is the thing. I think we need to go to a 4-3-3, which I think we are successful, But there's even talk of people saying to play a 4-1-4-1, Because you don't need 2 CDMs for England. We got enough attacking fortress in that team. But it is what it is. And I'm afraid to say, he won't do it. He just will not do it because he's so negative. He's so cautious, That he is too scared of having a goal. That is the thing. If you can score 3 or 4 goals, okay, cool. You do what you have to do. But please, don't sit back. Don't need it.
Fair enough. Nick, thanks for joining us. He's off to work now, so hopefully it flies by, Nick. I know what it's like working at this time of night. Used to do the overnight shift years ago, so I do feel for you there. And Colton Connor has said, miss Alan Maximin, missing him loads, you selfish git, LOL. Love it.
Bless him.
Well, I tell you what, let's go on to Alexander-Arnold. And Southgate's defended his man. Trent had to cover a lot of spaces and showed great discipline, plus the fabulous passing range he has. He's learned a lot, and we're learning with him. But it's great to see him making an impact in there. And interesting defence, but you're not a fan of Trent, are you, in that position?
Not at all. Not at all. To be fair, he should be a right back. That's his position, playing at right back. That is the thing. That means, according to what Gareth said there, right? I think he's playing against Denmark. He's bigging this guy up, bigging him up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, you're playing for Denmark. You're playing against Denmark, my guy. Do you know what I mean? Guaranteed. And that's what's going to happen. You can see it happening a mile away. It will happen. He will play against Denmark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously he likes him, yeah. But not in that position. I want to see Trent playing a right back. That's his best position, yeah. But we got a lot of midfielders there as well, right? That can cover. Conor Gallagher, yeah, can play in the CDM, yeah. If you want to play him there, cool, do that, yeah. But for me, I want to see a 4-3-3.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I personally agree with you on that Conor Gallagher point. It makes a lot of sense what you've said there. And I think Gallagher, when he come on, did offer a little bit. I think Jared Bowen as well. I think Jared Bowen was very, very good when he come on. I think Saka was struggling a little bit. Of course, he was being teamed up by two players, I felt. But Jared Bowen just offered something a little bit more. With regards to the Harry Kane point, when we'll come to that as well, there's personally one striker that I feel that should, and could have, made a real impact if he was there in Germany, but we'll come to him in a second. But should Foden continue out wide on the left, or should he play in the centre as the Premier League player of the season has done all season? Player of the season. What do you reckon? Should he play in the centre or should he play out left?
I think Foden should play as a 10 for me, because that's his best. So he can roam around. He can find that pocket. He can play on the right, he can play on the left, he can play as a 10. He can find those spaces, yeah. But I'm afraid to say, but last night, I'm sorry, but he had a poor game. Like I said, it's not his fault, by the way. Definitely not his fault, but he cannot play in a Gareth system. That is the thing. The only reason he's picking Phil Foden's by name because he did at Man City, yeah. I mean, look, I like Phil Foden. I'm a massive fan of this kid. I mean, he is the player of the season, right? Player of the season, yeah. And Gareth's killing his career. He's killing him big time, yeah. We look at it, right? Look at the team. You got Cole Palmer, yeah, can't get in the side. Anthony Gordon, yeah, I think he should be starting for me or get some game time. He's got to get game time. Simple as that. I mean, Gary D summed it up. Big up Gary, man. I mean, Mark Goldbridge summed it up Land's Tuber channel yesterday. The problem is Southgate. Shut up, shop, going 1-0 up instead of going for more goals, lads. Gary, facts. Yeah. That is the thing, facts. You know what I mean? But he just hasn't learned his lesson. It's a joke.
Yeah, I think I've got to agree with that. I think the more we analyse this game, the more initially I turned around and I said, well, it's Serbia, tough team, but really we should have gone for the juggler a little bit more. We should have attacked them a little bit more. And personally, I think we've kind of missed a trick, really. We could have got our goal difference up, which I know doesn't really count for much. It's mainly based off head-to-head games in these tournaments, but at the same time, it would have been a bit of momentum. But like I say, it's not how you start these competitions, it's how you end them. Let's have a little look at Harry Kane, though. And it was another intriguing performance. England's captain touched the ball just once in the first half an hour and twice in the whole opening period. His third touch was even intercepted by the referee. But Kane was given a real test by Serbia's centre-backs, especially in the air. He rose to the challenge in the second period and he brought the Three Lions up the pitch brilliantly. Then he could have got a second, only for a stunning save onto the bar. If he has to be selfless so others, especially Bellingham, can thrive, then so be it. Now, this is a point that was made by Alan Shearer on BBC, and he said very much so that, Harry Kane, has to be that focal point. He has to stay there. He can't give up the hope. He's got to just be that pinpoint person that they can look for and aim balls into. And he nearly did grab the second goal. And it was a fantastic save by the Serbian goalkeeper. But do you agree there with Alan Shearer,
Oh,
of course, Newcastle legend, or?
is that a question for Matt?
That's the question for yourself.
I think Shearer's right. Look, let's be real. Alan Shearer speaks sense. He speaks a lot of sense, yeah? We should have gone for it. He should have gone for more goals, and more goals, and more goals, yeah? And that's what he's going to have to do. But as for Cesc Fabregas, so I've gone to him quickly, right? He's got it right. He said he wants it more. He wants it. You need to take control. You need to take it to the scruff of the neck. You look at Iniesta and Xavi, right, when they play for Spain. They wanted it because they want to take it to the scruff of the neck. That's why Spain won the Euros and twice the World Cup as well in the 6 years, yeah? And they were the best team on the planet, the best country on the planet, yeah? We got players who can actually take it to the next level, take it to the scruff of the neck. Seriously, really wants it. Jude Bellingham, right? He wants it, yeah? 100% wants it, yeah? Big time, yeah? I look at the team yesterday. No one in the second half, by the way, didn't want it. They did not want it. And that is very disappointing because when you get the ball, you've got to take it to the opposition, yeah? I didn't see that in the second half at all yesterday. I'm sorry, but someone's got to go there and just go for it. Take control. In the second half, we did not take control. We allowed Serbia to just control that game. And I tell you what, if they have scored, they could have scored, by the way. They could have scored once or two, a goal or two. And I'm afraid to say, but he's going to get it. And another thing is, that's our first win, opening win for the last 10 attempts.
Yeah.
Sums it, done it.
It does kind of sum it up. I think we were very, very cautious, towards the end of that game. But personally, Harry Kane, he's that focal point. He's somebody, that you can fire the ball up to. He just needs the one chance. But, it was frustrating, both for Harry and both for the fans as well, I think, personally. So, yeah, unfortunate. But one thing I would say, and one thing I would like to bring up, if we had somebody like Dominic Solanke out there who could drop back in and make things happen and open things up for Bellingham and Foden and players like that, like he has done for Bournemouth all season, I tell you what, he would be excellent. An excellent substitution. And that's something I think we're missing. I don't think Tony does that. Ollie Watkins, I really do rate Ollie Watkins. I think he'll be a great addition when he gets some game time. He was maybe somebody you could bring on, but I think Dominic Solanke would have been brilliant. Drop him back, making things happen, bringing Bellingham into it, with Foden, taking the attention off those players and pulling that defender forwards from that defensive line. Because Harry Kane didn't drop back as far as he has done in the past, actually. He has done that in the past, hasn't he?
Yeah, look, I watched Solanke carefully as well. I wouldn't have him in Newcastle personally, but he's had a good season with Bournemouth. He had a fantastic season with you guys, yeah? I think he works hard for the team. He drops back, he holds the ball up, and he's got pace for a big guy as well. Is he England ready? That is the thing. He's 27 years of age, yeah? I think he's 27, 26, 27, yeah? For me, will he make it for England? I'm not so sure. Not under Gareth Southgate, unfortunately. But I think he had a brilliant season at Bournemouth. He's got to do it again next season. If he does it again next season, then I say, yeah, give him a try. But for me, under Gareth Southgate, I think he should have been given a go under Southgate, but he won't do it because he's got his favourites, Tony as well and Watkins as well. I can't see Solanke getting England as long as Gareth Southgate is there.
No, fair enough,
and
John.
that is sad.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Southgate has his favourites, and Solanke's just not one of those. But it's a win. It's a win. It's 3 points, and of
Yeah.
course, next up are the Danes, and they, of course, got a draw against Slovenia, a side that I didn't really know much about. Didn't fancy them to do anything, but Slovenia looked quite good. Christian Eriksen there, it was always going to be him. Got on the score sheet for them, but they need a result. And John, what do you think the score is going to be of this game?
And which game is that for? England, Denmark, or
Yeah.
I tell you what, we got to do a lot better because Denmark will be working hard for the team. They're a workman-like team, and they play good football as well. And they're not blessed with pace, by the way, but they know how to find a way. But I think England will just do it. I'm going to say 2-1 to England.
2-1 to England, right?
Yeah, but it's not going to be goal fest, but because Denmark will defend well. But I say it's going to be 2-1 England.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. And I think, unfortunately, we've lost Matt. I think his internet connection's gone down. But I'm gonna go. To be honest, I'm gonna struggle not to agree with you there, John. I think 2-1. I think is probably likely. I would say that's probably Denmark are going to score. I can see them scoring. And I think it's going to be a very, very interesting game. But I think 2-1. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Sorry, John. I'm going to be boring. I'm going to agree with you. I'm just going to follow you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine, man. That's fine, man.
But I tell you what, I'll name the scorers. I
Yeah.
think it will be Bukayo Saka, and I think Bellingham again.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bellingham, and I'm going to put my neck out. I'm going to say Kane will step up this time.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Well, we have got another question before we finish. Can I ask a question? When is having an assist more important than actually scoring a goal? Also, how much more pressure do that cause?
Interesting. When is having an assist more important than actually scoring a goal? I think if you create chances, if you produce something like nothing for an assist, and you get an assist like a goal, then you're going to get a pat on the back, really. Like, do you know what I mean? But then means you're doing your job. That means you're helping the team to get a goal in that. But I think if that's what Colton's on about, but that's a very good question, man, and that's what I need to think away.
I think, there is those players like Bellingham. I think there's players like Solanke who will create assists and create, things in the game. So, I think, that it's a very, very good question. Of course, goals are the most important thing. Goals win you matches. But at the same time, it's very, very good question, that, Colton.
Smart question. Smart.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Well, I think we better wrap it up now. But John, before you go, do let everybody know where they can find you. I'm going to make you full screen as well, John.
Okay, thanks for having us on, mate. And you can find us on John Sinclair TV. I do lives and previews and vlogs as well. And what else do I do? I'll do quite a few things as well. And I'll go do more vlogs than ever from next season, definitely. And just hit us up. I just got 10,000 subs as well. So thank you very much for the support. And just keep supporting my channel, guys. And I've got something coming up this week. Just keep your eyes peeled for that. Could be a football talk. You should gang. Support us, man. But thanks for having us on, man.
Not a problem at all, John. It's always a pleasure. And, everybody, all the Bournemouth fans, please, please, please do go and subscribe to John Sinclair TV. A great, great channel. Of course, thank you for joining us on Up the Cherries in all departments again. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us in all the normal places. There we are. That is the link for John Sinclair TV. Go subscribe. Go subscribe now, guys. Really, really good content. And I know you got something coming up as well, haven't you? You got
Yes,
lots
I have.
of shows.
I have. Thanks for man as well. I forgot I'm going on Tony's channel as well, Black and White TV. I'll be jumping on there. We're going to talk about England as well. Join us. I'll be sharing the stream. So in the chat, follow us as well. Straight after the show. And bosh.
Definitely. And hello, Brian. Hope you are well, mate. So thank you for joining us. Remember, like, subscribe, hit the bell to both channels, and we shall see you in the next show. And yeah, I'm all good, Brian. All good. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport